This is another video from my archive, which I videoed in 1992 when I paid a visit to the Cleethorpes Miniature Railway. At the time, this was the first time I'd ever paid a visit to this railway, and I didn't realise that it was internal powered locos with a steam outline, but nevertheless it was a nice engine to see. The Cleethorpes Railway, I think, began in about 1948. I think it ran just on a short curved 300-yard route round part of the bathing pool, and it headed along the coast to the paddling pool. And I believe it was 10 1/4 inch gauge, and it was steam all then, and the train shunted forwards and backwards. I don't think any of the stations were named then. It opened a new route then in 1949. I believe it was sometime in May 1949. It had two 10 1/4 inch gauge tracks and ran from Cleethorpes town. It ran south along the seashore to, I think it was Thrunscoe. The route was steam hauled until about 1953. Then they changed over to battery power from the 1954 season. The stations were named and had name boards. There was a ticket office in the early years, and at least varying the words pumping station to paddling pool, and vice versa. In 1972, Cleethorpes Borough Council invested in changes to the railway, and the line was extended northwards on a new alignment to a new terminus near to and named Bathing Pool, and Cleethorpes town was abandoned. South, the line was realigned at Thrunscoe. A new through station was built partly on the site of the former terminus, and then extended to a new terminus at and named Zoo, which had not long opened. I think the idea was to supplement pleasure rides with public transport functions, and the gauge was changed to the unique 14 1/4 inch gauge, carrying new locomotives powered by propane gas. Why would anybody want to change to 14 1/4 inch gauge? It's always been a puzzle to me, is this. The line's length then became 1,422 yards. I was just wondering whether any more railways use 14 1/4 inch gauge. I'd never really heard of 14 1/4 inch gauge for a railway. The line's southern terminus was named Leisure Park in 1978, and this was after the zoo closed. In the 1980-81 close season, the lines at Western at Landwood track was taken out of use after the railway ran as a single track route. In 82, the line was shortened by 40 yards at its northern end, and this to allow for the building of the Sea Defence Bank. The replacement station was also called Bathing Pool. The line's overall length became 1,382 yards. In 1992, the railway's length was changed for the first time in 20 years. The southern end was cut back by 250 yards to a new terminus named Meridian, which end was closed and demolished. A new station was opened north of the site of Thrunscoe, named Lakeside Halt. It was renamed Discovery Halt in 1994 and remains in occasional use. The line's overall length became 1,132 yards. The strategically important change of gauge to 15 inch in 1994 also took place. On the 26th of May 2007, a rather significant change to the line took place with the opening of the 980-yard southern extension through wholly new territory to the northern bank of the Beck, where a terminus was opened named Humberston North Sea Lane. The line's overall length became 2,130 yards. Personally, I think the re-gauging of this line to 15-inch gauge has transformed it. The amount of steam locomotive visiting now is a pleasure. Now on the return journey back to the station. I never did find out what this loco was. This was another steam outlined internal combustion powered loco. Well, I hope you found this rather long and old video from 1992 of interest. I decided to keep the whole length without cutting any out, so hence the reason the length. Anyway, thanks for watching.